This book was published, or first published, way back in 1973, when the women's liberation movement was, going full blast, and it was an attack on its extremism. Now, one of the kind of unfortunate things is that she made Arianna Stassinopoulos, now Arianna Huffington, made a distinction between the women's liberation that she scorned, as it says on the dust jacket, and the female emancipation that she championed, which never really caught on. People just didn't, catch on to that particular distinction because, by the dictionary, the words just aren't really that different between, liberation or emancipation. But I actually tend to, think that she did make a, if you look at it, she's if you look at it from her point of view, she was correct in what she put forward. She said emancipation insists on equal status for distinctively female roles. Liberation demands the abolition of any such distinctive roles, the achievement of equality through identical patterns of behavior. Emancipation means the removal of all barriers to female opportunities. It does not mean compelling women into male roles by devaluing female roles. It means adults freely choosing the way they run their own lives. Okay, now she also put a little thing here where she basically stated the differences between her book, The Female Woman, and the women's lib that she was fighting against. Okay. All right, and she goes, by the various categories of subjects and the difference between what they believed and what she believed. Okay. Nature. Women's lib, according to her, stated, apart from reproduction, there are no inherent differences between the sexes. Equality is sameness. The female woman. There are important innate differences between the sexes. Men and women are equal, but different. Sex. The sexual nature of men and women is identical. Promiscuity is to be encouraged. The female woman. There are important differences in the sexual nature of the two sexes. Sex is much more fulfilling within a deep personal relationship. Femininity. Women's lib. Intelligence and femininity are incompatible. The female woman. Intelligence enhances femininity. The family. Women's lib. A crumbling institution to be abolished. The female woman. An important institution to be fostered. Work. Women's lib. The whole of life. Only the routine, the efficient, the paid for is valuable. The mere housewife is contemptible. The female woman. A part of life. Women have two equally important fields open to them, their families and their careers. They should be able to choose either or both. Men. Women's lib. The oppressors, a highly privileged group. The female woman. Men's fate is more extreme than women's, sometimes more privileged, sometimes much more deprived. Liberators. According to women's lib themselves, an enlightened elite. According to the female woman, muddled intellectuals projecting their hang-ups onto all women. Okay. Now, I do think that this was probably the best attack ever written on the excesses of the women's movement. So I do recommend the book. And although it is kind of late in the day, and the fact is that it's I think that to a large extent what ended up happening is that what we got was to a large extent the demise of women's liberation and the triumph of female emancipation. Much of what she predicted came true. I also do think that in order to make her argument, she did, like her opponents, put things a little bit, just did tend to overdo things. I don't think the, so-called